right, let's see what we got here. What's going on, party people? Hopefully, you guys should be able to hear me. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully, you guys are doing good, but it's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, what I do here, guys, as a spiritual healer, I pretty much help people to attain their highest level of consciousness. And the attainment of your highest level of consciousness, well, just to give you an example of what that is, pretty much is, when you see, let's just say, Jesus Christ, or when we talk about Buddha, when we talk about Krishna, when we talk about so many different leaders or spiritual leaders, those it's what I call, the enlightened ones. Those are the ones who have attained, because all Jesus is showing you, or Buddha is showing you, even if you know about their history, learning about their trials and tribulations. Excuse me. Learning about their trials and tribulations, then you understand, them, they became the person that they are. Jesus became the Christ, just like Buddha, Siddhartha, he had to go through what he came through and became the Buddha. And officially, all that means is, to wake up. Just another way of saying you attain your highest level of consciousness. So to be Jesus like, to be Buddha like, to be Krishna like, that is what attaining your highest consciousness is. And for you to attain your highest consciousness, you would need to become in alignment with who you are. Another, aspect of what I do as a spiritual healer is that I help you to become mentally and emotionally balanced, because ultimately, you need to have those. I mean, those would be your foundation to you attaining your highest level of consciousness. And why is that important, right? You being in alignment with your emotions and your mental. Well, the short and only answer is because it gives you a broader perspective. You have the highest intelligence. When you, because obviously, if you are, I mean, we all know when we say to someone they are being emotional. So you know somehow they're not making the best decision. And that's because they don't see clearly. And ironically, as we're talking about that too, that goes to show you, when we're talking about your sight, it's truly your inner sight. To see your outside, it's truly to have a greater understanding of who you are. And I'm going to be talking about that too, but I just wanted you to keep that in mind, because everything that we're saying here is all connected. But most importantly too, this is also revealing your true essence. That's why we don't really listen with these ears. You listen with your understanding. That's the reason why, sometimes you could be reading a book for the first time and you never understood it. Yet you do know how to read and write. In fact, every year when you go, okay, let's just say, if you remember when you went to high school, right? So from the seventh grade, eighth grade, you always have teachers. You already know how to write, uh, how to read and write. So what they were doing is now it's helping you with the understanding in those letters. And that's what the teacher was actually saying to you. Now, when you have that understanding, then you go back to the book. Now you have a better way of looking at the book. And this is where a lot of people, they quite don't understand. That's why for me, as a spiritual reader, I mean a healer, I don't recommend books. But yet, don't get it fucked up, I have a tons, shitload of books. But I'm saying all of that to say, I mean, again, this is all connected. You have to be on that level. It's almost like you got to see it for you to see it. Now, a lot of times, it's not necessarily that we have already grasped what needs to be said, but it's how open you are to it. You could be on that vibration, but yet you haven't fully grasped yourself yet. And that's what you see when you are being gravitated towards certain things, but yet you don't know why yet. But anyway, anyway, I guess the spirits are here. I can feel them here. But anyway, um, before I even, get started here, since the spirits are here, so I want to, thank all of my ancestors. Do you see what I'm saying? All of my helpers. You know what I'm saying? It's always a pleasure for me because, it's like I love the type of interaction that I actually have with them. It's so therapeutic. It's peaceful. It gives me everything I need. It's fulfilling to me. So I wanted to acknowledge that, as they letting me know that they're here. Keep talking. I got you, motherfuckers. But anyway, forgive me. I lost myself for a second, but nevertheless, it's just another way of saying welcome to you guys too, man. That's what you're gonna get. Just so you know, it's really down to earth. For me, I always try to incorporate what we know into our regular shit because that's what makes it practical. Because you don't want to see no knowledge and you're a dumb motherfucker or you making dumb, you acting. I mean, what would be the point of, being this intellect motherfucker, but yet you're making wrong decision into your life because, it's one thing to have knowledge, but applied knowledge is something else. And in applied knowledge, that's where your growth is. That's where your transformation is. This is where you get to say, you know what, as a kid, I spoke as a kid, but now as a man, come on now. That's the transformation. It has to take place, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just part of us. But anyway, welcome. I love you, motherfuckers. I got a little excited, but my ancestors are here, so we good. But anyway, now going back to why is it important to become emotionally and intellectually, why they have to become in alignment, because if one is over the other, you become one-sided. Same thing I mentioned about, let's just say, when we say and we acknowledge someone as being emotional, they don't see the best in the situation. And the same thing happens too when you are too intellectually minded, because now you don't take feeling into consideration. You become very robotic, but most importantly, you become very rigid. So, I mean, in life, listen, man, there's situations you may want to be logical, and other situation you don't want to use logic at all. And we all know those fucking situations. So therefore, you don't want to become. You don't want to have. They got to become in alignment, because the minute now you're not using your emotions, then you can't truly relate to other people. So you're making decisions that could sound or be logical, but yet that's not working. Because there's a reason why there's something called emotional intelligence. Now, how you relate to other people, yes, besides the fucking logic. So again, either or, the minute you pick a side, you fucked. But when you have both perspective, when you have both of them in alignment, now you see the bigger picture. Now you could see the emotional intelligence and the logic work playing out together. And that's what Jesus did when They brought out this prostitute, and when they were asking Jesus, so should we go ahead and stone him? I mean, stone her. I'm pretty sure you already know. And his response, like, to me, even as a kiddo, because I remember when I was learning about this, I was left mouth open. But most importantly, it also opened up my heart and my intelligence too. Because his response was, yo, man, like, pretty much, like, which one of you motherfuckers have not sinned? So why don't it, in other words, this motherfucker's saying, why don't we bring the best out of each other instead of us stoning each other? But for you to see it that way, there's a whole bunch of shit that has to take place. You would have to be emotionally connected. Meaning, yo, I could feel her pain. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. So what the fuck? I mean, real shit. But again, this type of realness, I mean, again, it requires a little bit of emotion. Then now he was successfully able to, I mean, that was fucking emotional intelligence at its fucking best. Where the mind and the heart was both applied in that situation. And as you can see, as it was to me, it is a work of art. It was a beautiful fucking answer. It was mouth dropping. It was everything else you can ever fucking imagine. But most importantly, I know for me, even as a kid, it opened up my mind. Understand one another. You ain't better than this other motherfucker. We all fucking fell in learning how to get up. Let's get each other up, nigga. We already fallen. Anyway, and those would be one of the conversation that I'm going to be talking about tonight too, when I get to the failure part. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, shit. Like, there's no such thing as fucking failure, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself here. You make yourself failing. Like, you're the failure, like truly the failure when you fail. I'll get there though. Again, going back to the connection, how your emotions and your mind or the intellect has to come together, it gives you a broader, allow you to see a better, like the bigger picture. And that's what is required when it comes to even you being in a fucking relationship or any type of fucking relationships for that matter. Meaning for me to be able to relate to you, to truly give you, you know what I'm saying, or let you borrow my ear for a second. Just that, to truly be in concern, but to listen to you. I mean, it's just so many things, man. When your emotions and your intellect comes together, it automatically gives you a broader perspective. You could see the ins and out on both sides, just like how I was able to show you, the limitation in logic. There's a bunch of fucking limitation in logic, especially when it comes to life. Life is a combination of logic and what's not logic. When you embrace that, then that's when the magic happens. Then you become the magic. But anyway, going back to that particular point, so for you to attain your highest level of consciousness, you would have to become in alignment with you. And you becoming in alignment with you is the idea of mind, body, and soul, meaning your emotions, your intellect, they are both connected. And as a process of that too, you also become the knowledge too, because it's almost like your new self has now taken over you, or the spirit of God, meaning that the beholder, that person that you are, that living mind. Oh man, I'm getting way ahead of myself here, man. I'm just excited, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going way too deep here. I mean, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's slow it down. Ooh, I'm excited. I haven't been on here for a minute, so let me tell you guys this. Like a lot of you have subscribed to this channel. Check out my other channel because I've been spending a little more time on that other channel. I figured I gave you guys about 400 videos, man, on this channel. So that's enough. I mean, not enough for me not. I mean, I'm always gonna be here, but I just wanted to build and work a little bit more on that other channel, and it's called "To Give Is to Receive." And technically, what I do on that other channel is the same thing that I do here, but it's just a little different format. I use a lot of what I call the power of words or quotes, to emphasize or to make some of the points that I, you know, make there. But ultimately, it's the same message. It's for you to attain your highest level of consciousness. It's just different methods. I get to talk a whole lot more shit over here. I try to be a little more professional on the other one. So I figured, I'll give you two sides of me. More of a more conservative one. Self on that other one because we're talking about the quotes, is the power of words. I'm in my shit. You know what I'm saying? But over here, this is where I just get to be, you know. It's all for you though. But I want you to know, like, you in both situations, you're getting the best of me. I just don't want you to get fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's not anything that I am not showing it anyway. It's just you know what I'm saying, just me chilling. Listen, this is me exploring like other aspect of myself. That's what I'm saying. So it has nothing to do with oh man, you're still gonna get 1,000% out of me every time because I owe it to me. You understand? So just different format, just exploring different aspect of myself. You know what I'm saying? It's liberty, bitch. I got the power. You know what I mean? But anyway, going back to so that's technically where I've been. Check it out. It's just a thing in itself. But anyway, um, so now I'm back here, man. I'm fucking very excited. So, um, so we talked about how important it is. You have to become in alignment, meaning your emotions and your intellect. And here's what I want you to also understand before I delve into the conversation here. Now, when I'm talking about being emotionally balanced, I also want to give you a little bit of idea of what that is, right? What I'm technically talking about there, it's you to acknowledge and to be connected with your feelings. Meaning you understand how it works, you feel a certain way, but you understand what you feel, right? Because some people will resent other people, but not quite understand why. You feel that way, or you may not like someone, or whatever the situation is. The whole purpose of you understanding and being in touch with your feelings is for you to have that communication, that authentic. Because whenever you suppress your emotions, well, that's the foundation for toxicity. That way do not work. That's why if you go see a shrink or like a therapist, they would start digging into certain emotional shit with you, especially early on in your life, because you building on fucking emotions that is somehow shaping your intellect too. Because when your emotion is not clear, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like, just like we were talking about being emotional and then you don't see the best thing. So it's has a direct connection on that. Just like if you're depressed, you're not gonna be in the best moment for you to make a decision, or it's like it's just not the right time. It's nothing wrong, but it's not the right time, baby. You know what I'm saying? So being emotionally balanced, being emotionally balanced, it's totally referring to you being in harmony and understanding of your emotions. You understand what your emotions are, you understand your own emotional pattern, and why not creating your own emotional pattern? Once you start, I mean that's the idea. It's for you to master your own emotions. And that's what I mean, right? So in addition to that, it's pretty much the same baseline understanding when it comes to you becoming mentally balanced, right? So now you're talking about you understanding your mind, how your mind works, how you've been conditioned, if you were ever conditioned. Yes, you have. I mean, we all were. And it's you acknowledging and being aware of everything that has a direct impact on how you may shift your consciousness, or that anything that steer your personal perspective, you got to be aware of it. Just like culture shape you a certain way, then you automatically got to be aware of it, because there's a bunch of biasness in it. So therefore, it's you're gonna be short-sighted, or you're gonna be one-sided. But if you open up your mind, then you get to enjoy many other different cultures. And shit, as a person, I mean, I would think it would make you. I like. I mean, you'll be surprised to see how far can you expand yourself. You'll be. Listen, you'll be surprised and amazed to see how far you can go if you're willing to let go. And by the way, this is gonna be the topic of our conversation too, for you to get yourself out of your own way, and we'll talk about that shortly. So now, fast forward. Essentially, that's what I do as a spiritual healer. Now, if you're coming back, you already know what's going on, baby. Love is love. Everything that I was done as you were watching was for you. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I do this for you, baby. You know what I'm saying? And and anyone else who happened to be here for the first time, that's why I always welcome them. But just know, the one that came back is for you. It's been for you all along, baby, because that's how special you are. But anyway, it's my way of saying thank you. I love you. You're always gonna get the best out of me. I mean, shit, why the fuck not? You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck not? Listen. I'm at my best because I'm being my best and I'm giving my best. It's like it's just and this is an honor for me to actually do this job. You have no idea. To be saving the world. All this time, I had all these balls. I had no idea how big my balls were. Listen, because when you truly look at it, this is the best ever. I mean, there's no creation. There's nothing that could substitute that. You attaining your highest level of consciousness. You becoming Christ-like. But also the message that is being delivered by myself, because like I always tell people, what we do as spiritual healers truly is that we hold the wisdom, the mirror of wisdom, for you to see yourself. That's why I take no credit. It's on the house. Just know everything you got, you welcome already. I mean, it's in the house. First of all, motherfucker, how much did you even pay to look at me? So it's on the house. Let me stop. But this is another way of saying, let's just have some fun. That's what this is all about for me. But most importantly, also helping each other, man, giving you the sight, to make you a better person a better version that you are, listen, that is rewarding in itself. And the conversation, me having this conversation already, like, it makes me feel so valuable. You have no idea. Nigga, you can tell me shit. You can tell me nothing, nigga. You can tell me nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? That's how, shit. That's how I'm feeling. I got my money right. And get your treasure right. When you find your treasure, you know what I'm saying? Now nobody can tell me nothing. Because I got my treasure. You hear me? Get yours, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like my man White Clef. You know what I'm saying? Get your paper right. You know what I'm saying? Get your paper right, baby. I've got mine right. Get your money right. Why would I be against you? You know what I'm saying? Like, when we all can make the world better. Get your money. Get your treasure, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, I'm here to help you. You see what I'm saying? So this is the kind of shit that you put yourself into when you come here. Do you see what I'm saying? This is the love. This is, listen, man, and it's being done the Haitian way too, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Come get your medicine, motherfucker. Yeah. So, let's proceed, guys. Now, as part of my process as a spiritual healer, I always like to take the time, especially if this is your first time or if you're coming back, to make sure I fucking I put the shit in your mind, so that you understand. I always take the minute to talk about spirituality, right? And why is that? Because, well, I mean, the mirror that I'm going to be holding, it's just spirituality in itself, meaning, this is the tool that I use to communicate with you. This is where I got my wisdom from. My understanding is coming out of spirituality. And what the fuck is that? Which is our story. The spirituality is telling you the story about spirit, which is your story. When you get to break down into your essence, then you realize life, you are a living mind. Because we all say it all the time, you want to change your life, we understand there's a big impact that your thoughts and knowledge has on you. Because your knowledge and your thoughts shape who you are. So again, this is referring to, so who the fuck are you? So when we're truly talking about our essence, we are what the Kabbalion says about us, a living mind, i.e., energy or spirit. It's not just a few people. It's not just a lot of people and there's just no other people. That's all of us. Now, your degree of self-consciousness, now that's when now you become spiritual. Now, you start to acknowledge what you already were or was. Then now you understand you need to open up your third eye. You got to do your chakra work. You got to do your shadow self. Your shadow work. All of that shit. Oh, a big one I forgot to add, your meditation. Because that helps with those aha moments. The reason why you open up your third eye is to be more receptive to more energy, which is more ideas, more understanding. Because it's that receptivity now that you have, whereas someone who's not, let's just say spiritually developed. So that's what you're also doing when you get into meditation, is you're seeking that aha moment. That's why you got to have a purpose to meditate. and understand truly what you're doing. Because if you don't know what you're doing, how do you make the best out of what the fuck you're doing? It's our essence. That's for everybody. Now, you could argue that most people, and this is where the disconnection comes in, or the misunderstanding about spirituality, is that most people think this is something that's outside of me. And that's because they were conditioned to look at who they are as their dick and pussy, and never the other side of you. Because what we do in spirituality, and now there's something called the occult, which is now you're dealing with the sacred text, the sacred understanding. And some of that basic understanding will tell you, if you think you dick and pussy, guess what, my friend? You have a conscious mind and you also have a subconscious mind. Oh shit, what the fuck is a subconscious mind? It's under the mind. So the whole aspect of the occult, that's why they call it the occult, or you dealing with your dark side, is helping you now to be conscious of another part of you, just like a third eye, your chakra. You know, for you to acknowledge the spiritual, the spirit in you, or the divinity in you. That's the idea of the occult. That's the understanding. That's the manual. That's what the occult deals with, which is a big part of spirituality. But spirituality embodies it all. That's why in spirituality, I'll give you a perfect example. We would say, because we understand the ultimate thing is for you to become your own, to be conscious, because you already, let me slow it down, but let me just say it for the great listeners. You're already the creator. Now, the difference in knowing that you are the creator, you get to create better. So in spirituality, we say this thing, you're God, you act like you're God, right? And that is a fact. Because if I decide to become a Seventh-day Adventist right now, my reality change. I'm going to act like my God, because my God rested on the seventh day, which is the Sabbath day, and that is on a Saturday. And also, guess what, my friend? Your reality of what Saturday is to you is not going to be the reality of what my Saturday is going to be to me. So by me choosing this God, I'm acting like him. That's why this whole spiritual shit, it's very fucking important, because that is your essence. That's why also mythology plays a big part in who the fuck you are. Because the story, depending on what story of what creation is to you, that is the foundation of your society too. You think that way. If our society, we believe in Adam and Eve story, our society is a reflection of that. You have to understand the science. The first thing when Adam and Eve became, let's just say, conscious after the fruit, they hide their sexuality. I mean, what do we do in our society? This is not something that we talk about, because we know this is a date. You don't talk about this. That's why you don't even say date in front of your kids. You know what I'm saying? There's always, like your private parts has all kinds of names. all kinds of names, but the name of what they, but their true names. And I would be considered rude just to mention their name. Do you see it? You want to talk about something? You want to talk about craziness? You want to talk about crazy? Well, this is the world that you're living in. It is an insane world. It is. That's why you see crime the way it is. You see everything that you're witnessing. Yes, it's not by coincidence. It's conditioned and maintained to be that way. Now, for you to become sane, that's where a guy like me now comes in. Gets you to come outside of that mentality to become new. And that's what the occult is dealing. That's what the whole Jesus thing, you being born again. Now you're a man of Christ, meaning now you're following the divinity side of you. You are now acknowledging that divinity side of you. And that's why when you become a man of spirit or a man of God, then now you're not living by the flesh. That doesn't mean you don't eat, you don't shit. That's part of the flesh too, nigga. Or it doesn't mean you don't fuck. It has nothing to do with that. But it's almost like now I have compassion for people. That's what it means. Now I have joy inside of me. Now I don't gossip about motherfuckers because I worry about myself. And why would I gossip about you, try to put you down when I'm not even better than you any fucking way? And for the most part, anybody who even talk about that kind of shit, for the most part, they're always the worst one. Am I saying something new here? It's only if you don't know it. But if you know it, this is the insanity that we are dealing with. That's your fucking society. That's your ordinary life. Oh, this shit is crazy. Let me tell you. Where should I begin? Where do I even start? Give me a hint, like anything. Because we cannot go wrong. Any more wrong than how it's wrong already. Do you understand what I'm saying? But anyway, when it comes to spirituality, guys, it's just your life. It's just a long way of me trying to break it down because a lot of us have so much dissociated ourselves from who we are because we are born in a society that's training you to be who you should be instead of who you are. And that is the foundation for chaos. The minute you're not in accordance with yourself, that's what you became hybrid. You're not even in the game. So think about it. And that's the recipe for you living in your mind because you're living on who you should be. And that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight too, for you to get out of your own mind. Get out of your way. Because that's what happens when you're not in alignment with yourself. And here's something else too. That's why this is also another, like you sin against the Holy Spirit. Because how do you go against you? That's blasphemy. How do you come to earth and not living your life? This is catastrophe, man. Like this is bad, man. And not the good bad neither. Like that's the bad. Like Not good at all. The type of bad that's not good at all. It doesn't make sense. So you automatically put yourself in the average position because now you're acting on who you should be. And for the most part, a lot of people have the similar image. Now, what you have, what your self image now has now become your self esteem. That's when now the way you dress, the way you look matters because that's what now become your satisfaction, your inner satisfaction. And that one is temporary. That's what makes it fake because it's not fulfilling. It's not something that's inside of you. And that's what ultimately, that's what spirituality is doing. It's to help you to reconnect, to remember, come back home. And that home meaning, for you to understand that you were lost, meaning the transition as you become in this body, that's part of that's part of the spark, if you want to call it that way. But also then you would have to remember, reconnect. Make it enjoyable. Because if you lost, you're not even experiencing anything. You just lost. But if you're experiencing something, it's different as being as to be lost, man. I'm experiencing shit. You don't want to be lost, man, because that's a different type of experience, which I certainly understand, but it's not enjoying the moment. I could tell you this much. So again, this is just to say spirituality is your fucking life. So what you see in the occult now, when you're dealing with certain books, Masonic, or let's just say Hinduism, the Buddha, the Bible, those are all manuals to help you to have a better understanding of who you are. That's why even when we're talking about Jesus, if Jesus is not part of your life, then it means nothing. And I'm not saying that's why talking about Jesus and being about Jesus are two different things. Two totally different things. When you're acting like Jesus, then you have to act like him. Be like him. Isn't it what he's saying? I hope I'm not saying anything wrong here. How do you act like something when you're not being it? Every actor will tell you that. If they're playing a character, they can't play the character if they're not the character. They have to become the character. Are you being Jesus? Otherwise, there's only one way to become Jesus-like, or to become Buddha-like. Are you playing your character, or are you talking about it? Because ultimately, when you understand the true God, then you understand you got to pick your God wisely. And then you understand you need a God and a God needs you. But that's a whole different conversation. Anyway, so with all that being said, spirituality is your life, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's get to the conversation at hand here. So now what we're talking about tonight is for you to get out of your own way. Because a lot of us, we are living in our mind, literally. So now if I'm going back to the whole idea of us being who we should be, and that's how you live your life. And because you're living your life on who you should be, that's where you wearing the mask becomes, right? So you have this mask. Then you become a people pleaser. You're seeking for other people's validation. Then now to maintain or have what you think is your self-esteem, which is not, because it has you dealing. That's what becomes. I mean, it's truly your self-image that you're truly dealing with. You got to keep up with the Joneses. Who you have in your life, what you have, all of that becomes a factor. Then we have a competitive world. Then you have whatever the fuck else that life comes with. Then now anything that has to do with you, your true self, your passion, or even your spiritual aspect of yourself, all of these things are being suppressed, or even your own emotions. You suppress your own emotions. And that's what we do. The more closed off, that's when people become closed off, right? And that's when they become the most toxic. You're not growing, you're not learning. It's just, I mean, those are the living corpse, what you call the living deads. And because they are closed off, they cannot love neither. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's what you see in the society that we are in. Everybody's wearing a mask. Even the whole marriage shit, and that's what I'm gonna be talking about tonight too. And let marriage be the first one, because we're living in our mind. We're not even in touch, because you attach to such a fucking idea, image. You're not experiencing life, meaning you are not only blinded, but you also don't see your immediate circle neither. That's why you have to be aware of your culture. Quite often in our society, we take marriage for love. That's you living in your mind. But if you want to step outside of it for just a little bit, but you would need to be in touch with in yourself. Isn't that the reason why when you get a divorce, the motherfucker get half? What the fuck do you think that is? What the fuck that has to do with love? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because people get married for many different reasons, bro. You know what I'm saying? And here's something else too. Then we determine how successful a marriage is based on the amount of time. That's not true at all. A lot of people, I mean, I know people who are in marriages, man, like they just got to do what they got to do, bro. Because that shit is a fucking investment. How do you get to be motherfucking, let's just say 60 years old, right? And then now you gotta fucking sell a house, then you're gonna go back to your fucking apartment? A lot of people stay in marriages for just for that, nigga. I got a kid with the bitch, man. There's a lot of investment in. That's why a lot of people say even they don't even sleep in the same fucking bedroom. I mean bedroom. What the fuck are we talking about? Yet this is the reality you seeing. I could tell you, you probably know about one or two people that might be going through that. But yet you're understanding what you're projecting. It's marriage is love. This is crazy. And it is. I mean, in our culture, oh my God. And not to mention the battle between the sexes. It's all chaotic. It's all chaotic, man. I was listening to a brother who was talking about the purpose of a relationship as marriage. Like how? I'm like, I was shocked. He didn't mention anything about intimacy and vulnerability. That's the purpose of relationship. You want to relate to someone that you can open up to, and that can open up to you as well. Then you build a fucking intimacy with the bitch or the nigga. What the fuck what marriage got to do with any of that shit? Now you may choose to get married too. I mean, listen, you do whatever the fuck you want, but know what the fuck you're doing though. Know yourself. Know the society that you're living in. I mean, what the fuck? Like, I mean, well, that's what being lost is too. Because the minute you're not in connection with you, you're already lost. So everything every action taken after that, it's you delving even deeper into fucking ignorance. And that's the abyss. Like that's fucking chaotic. Because we are in our own fucking mind. And there's a reality in front of you. Even when you go to your court, like, what the fuck, man? Isn't that the reason why some people are trying to get prenup? Because, hey, man, I know I love you and all, but this is also a contract. I mean, I had $100 million before I met you, dog. It wouldn't be fair if you want to take half of it because let's just say after we got married and we realize we can't work it out anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta understand. Because technically, it's a contract. So technically, as we're going our separate part, let's separate what we had. That's what makes it a contract, dog. Nothing to do with love. Nothing. And that's why too, if you choose to get married, why not having your own contract? Like Jay Z had one. Like I think I was listening to some shit he was saying if they get, each one of his child will get a certain amount of money. I mean, that's how you should move. To be honest. All right, bitch. This is what's gonna happen. We know I'm with you. I'm with you. We invest together. Whatever the fuck, shit could happen to me. Shit could happen to you. Whatever the fuck. Then a will. Whatever the fuck you choose to do. Like, why not be in charge of your own fucking contract and call it for what the fuck it is? Don't jerk yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Thinking it's some love. I mean, it has nothing to do with that. And that's where, to be honest with you, a lot of us, because we associate so much with love and marriage, the idea of arranged marriages fuck your mind up. And whereas you might need to have some fucking marriages because these niggas are negotiating certain terms for you, man. And there's certain things as you get older, you know what I'm saying, that you may want to take under consideration. Because, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're trying to get you into a marriage where it's going to work out for you if either one of you guys decided to go your separate ways. Isn't that a contract you would want to have? So, if you could get a lawyer to negotiate that for you, that's when your fucking parents comes in. It's not as bad as you think it is when you know the truth. But first, you got to get yourself out of, you know what I'm saying? Get your mind out of your fucking ass. Because you are in your own fucking way. So now, the other thing, I mean, because there's several things, even when we talk about the whole Jesus thing that I was also talking about, when you understand the way you operate, anything that is not in your life, that has not, you don't make it part of you, it's irrelevant to you. So another misconception that we also have, even when it comes to religion is it's talking you about, it's telling you about a way to escape this life. They technically rocking you to sleep because you should need something here. Because think about it. Let's just say, listen, you didn't know you was gonna be born. Okay, let's dump the shit all the way down, right? You didn't know you was gonna be born. Here you are. You don't know when the fuck you're gonna die, right? Why not making the best of what you're going through now? So the point really of living is to live, nigga. I mean, if you gonna eat healthy, you don't do it because you must die, nigga. You were born, so you're gonna die. That's all of us. That's why this shit don't even matter. It's what are you doing in between? Do you see what I'm saying? Again, these are not ideas. This is real living experience shit. And that's the type of knowledge I love to talk about. So even as we dumb it all the way the fuck down, like, you gotta make a difference. You gotta do something. Come on, man. Like, I mean, how low? Like, this shit's crazy, man. Like, what are you even trying to do to yourself at this point? That's why you shouldn't be worried about what you can't control. But why not control what you can control, though? So again, now going back to the Jesus shit. Now, when you're looking at religion is doing, I mean, it's no wonder why these people, they can only talk about Jesus, but they'll never be about it. Because here's something else too. If you think money's everything, then you'll do anything for money. Meaning, the way you understand and view God, I mean, their mind, the same mind that should have been processing God, being busy being Jesus, that's the mind that they're using to dream of somewhere else. And that's why you cannot live two realities. You cannot serve two gods. It's if you expect for, let's just say, like a fucking paradise and shit like that, okay, you know what I'm saying. But if you're gonna be the best person that you can be, and trust me, as you're doing so, it's almost like you become the paradise itself. And that's why I tell people too. Trust me, I believe in paradise more than you. In fact, I know paradise because I'm living it. I get a before I get a little taste of it, but you have no taste of it and no experiences whatsoever because you're not even using yourself. You're not even busy trying to be like Jesus neither. So I'm showing you, like your mind, right? Like if you don't see it in your life, that's why you gotta say you are not just saying, but you have to actualize or materialize your spirituality. That's growth. Like you want to have knowledge so you become wise. You gotta move a certain way now. I mean, then what would be the point of having knowledge then? It's like, nigga, you think I'm learning to remain stupid? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, niggas? What the fuck, man? And ironically, too, that's the move that has to be that those are the action that has to be taken for you to become smart too. That's why when you know yourself, you automatically become better too. Because as part of you knowing yourself is you knowing what you know and what you don't know. And trust me, when you know the things, or you just, I know for me, when I knew I didn't know how smart I was. I was so fucking smart. I knew I needed more help. Dumb motherfuckers cannot do that shit. A dumb motherfucker, even when they know they stupid, they don't even look for help. Now you tell me how dumb that is, bro. Think about it. That's like if I know I'm stupid, people are telling me I'm stupid, and then so what? So what? I mean, I'll probably say for so what, but I'll jump in the fucking house, nigga, and get some books or what can I do? I just found out I was stupid, nigga, and I don't want to be stupid. So you mean to tell me, and there's a bunch of you motherfuckers, that's like 60, 70 years old, stupid motherfuckers, man. And all of it because you don't want to transform, you don't want to change. So these people are literally babies in old bodies. Those are your Chuckies. What you call your energy vampires. But anyway, this is not about them. Again, this is going back to, you getting out of your own mind. I mean, why would you worry about escaping anyway? You didn't know how the fuck you get here. Why not making the best out of it here? And just like I was saying too, it's like, and that's why both birth and death don't fucking matter. And deaths truly don't fucking matter. Trust me. Because right now, if you're alive, you know nothing about death. You could see it somewhere else. When you die, you're not alive, so you don't even fucking know either way. So death or birth, it don't matter. But what truly matters, though, is that are you in your best state of mind? Are you as enlightened as you should be, though, as you can be? So your goal should, for every human being, should be to become Christ-like, Krishna-like, Buddha-like. Anything lesser than that, like you're not even playing, like you're not playing. Let's just say with the Ivy Leagues, because that's what we do here. This is for the great listeners, man. Because only when you attain that, then anything else you may know about life, and that's what they say: seek the kingdom of God first. Because once you do, everything else is gonna play its part. Once you become the king of your kingdom, you master yourself. Then now you can master your environment. You don't go and master other people and then not mastering yourself, thinking you some hot shot. You can't even control your own feelings. Small player, fourth grader. Another motherfucking misconception too, and we're gonna close it out on this one, is failure. Nigga, I think some of the best line I've ever heard was actually from Christopher Nolan in Batman 1 or Begins when he was asking Wayne, why do we fall? And I teach my kids that too, for them to understand why do you fall? So you can get up. In life, all you do is get up. Let me say that again. So that's why there's no failure in life. You can only fail when you stop trying. That's when you fail. And that is true. Even in your reality, someone who becomes great at the guitar, what do they do with the guitar? Repetition. That's all you need. Keep getting up. Sharpen up your tools. Like they say, you fell 7, get up 8. Get ready for 9, nigga. Not because you're looking to fail, but just know you got 9, 10, 20. I got a billion in me. That's why I can never fall, nigga. And Wyclef has this line too that I really like. The closest thing he come to falling is Alicia Keys. I loved it. Because that song, Falling, is so incredible. That's the closest he came to fall. And that's how I feel too. Even look at yourself. And this is no motivational shit. I think my thing with fucking motivational shit, to be honest, because I feel like a little bit, because I kind of resent against it. I mean, not that I have an issue with it, but it's like certain things, okay, I guess when it comes to me, certain things I tell you is not to motivate you. It's for you to know the truth, man. Because when you know the truth, that's truly what's going to set you free. It's not to get you hype. It's to set you free. Know the fucking truth, man. So I guess that's where I'm coming from with it. So it's not really some sort of an issue. If some people choose to motivate people, get you hype, cool. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to jerking off. Then after you come, what else? But if you know the truth though, oh nigga, you up. It's up from there. When you know the truth, it's up from there. And that's when a lot of people, and I get what they're trying to say. They say I'm at the bottom. I can only go so low, but that's not truly what they have experienced. And this is some true game because I had to understand it myself. No, it's you have acknowledged or have enough confidence in yourself now. You know, oh, okay, this is why I endure it all. So I have it in me. So that's why it's up from here. That's truly what they're saying, but it's okay. I mean, I got you. I got you. There's no failure, bro. We're living in a life where if you right now who are listening to me, and I remember when I said this to my daughter, and I'm like, because I remember I was telling her how much she taught me. She's like, me? How? What did I say? I'm like, no, that's not what it was. It's like, I remember she couldn't even sit down. We had to put her in the box. Because this nigga, the minute she like try to sit down, she just slide all the way down. We're like, okay, you know what? We're going to put you in the box now. And now this motherfucker could sit, whatever the fuck. So, and I remember when I was telling her about that, the point was there's no failure. Like the guy who said, nah, I know, I did not fail. I understand how not like the light bulb guy. I can never remember that guy's name. He and my family member. I don't know the nigga. Him, right? That guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he truly gets it. When you fell, when you stop. Because we all got to keep going. I mean, Aaliyah to told you guys about it. You fell at first. You know, I mean, everybody and anybody who became successful too. You don't know what they had to go through, man. You don't know what Jay Z had to go through, man. Like all these motherfuckers. You don't know, man. You know how many record label that had to say no to these niggas. I mean, you just don't know. Michael Jordan, like, yo, you just don't fucking know. And the amount of work that they had to put in. There's no failure in life. The only way for you the reason why you fall is for you to get up. When you fully understand this, so again, we're living in a life where, you know, the true life experience is that you gotta fall for you to keep getting up. But what happens to a lot of people due to being emotionally imbalanced, they become closed off instead of being open. You got burnt. I mean, if you're going through love, you just because you got hurt, love again, nigga, and keep your heart open. But this time, did you learn the lesson though? Even when you're going through love, right? The experience is not to turn you into a stone cold motherfucker. If not, obviously you did not learn. Obviously, the minute you even turn that way because you didn't get the lesson, I guarantee you that. And a lot of the times, the lesson is going to be maybe there was something you didn't know about you. And first of all, you cannot love somebody else too if you don't know much about you. How do you make a good choice if you don't know you? Because a good choice has to do with you, right? It's got to be to your liking. How do you relate to somebody else if you don't relate to you? And sometimes, and this is what I was saying, I think I said that in my other channel, like when it comes to spiritual laws, people need to understand spiritual laws because spiritual laws, those are what you call codes that allows you to get what you want. For instance, if you're looking for love, love yourself first. Before you go out there looking good, get your six pack. I mean, that could be part of you loving yourself too. But essentially, what we're referring to is love your inner self. Get to know your own feelings, develop yourself, know what you want, all of that shit. Because now, the minute you do, okay, then you're going to have to attract what you like. And if you know what you like too, you wouldn't be wasting your time with what you don't like because that's not what you like. What are you doing to yourself again? Well, I mean, what kind of game are we playing here? What the fuck? Come on, help! I'm asking for help here. What the fuck are we doing? You understand what I'm saying? So it's important for you to know who you are. Start there first. You know what I'm and by you loving yourself too. So when we say you gotta love yourself for you to love somebody else, because by you loving yourself, you get to acknowledge and appreciate internal shit about you. If you get to understand that you're a good person, you need somebody who's understanding as you are. So you're not gonna necessarily look at that person's bank account. I mean, yes, you could be concerned, just a motherfucker, just don't, you know what I'm saying? Because we all gotta protect ourselves. But what I'm saying here, but now you're looking at somebody from a different perspective. Because now you emotionally in tune with yourself, you're seeking for that emotional part of them. And that's what loving yourself does to you. And that's why when you love yourself, you know what I'm saying, it's not cocky, it's not none of that shit. I mean, if anybody who's being cocky, who what you call selfish, selfish is a whole different ballgame. This is someone who's only concerned with the external benefit because they look at themselves as the material side, person that they are, and that's all that matters. So therefore, they look for that in other people, and they don't care about how you feel in the inside because they're not concerned with how they feel in the inside. Like you must be tripping, like literally too. Like when the motherfuckers, that's why you gotta leave these motherfuckers alone. That's why you gotta have discernment to understand who you getting yourself involved with. And that's why they tell you, I may say, is it a person of God, for lack of better terms? Meaning, is that person in touch with their internal feelings? Is it someone who's all about the outside? Oh my God, the size I can't get 2 pounds. Like, who are we dealing with here? Is it a down to earth person? You know what I'm saying? Then when you get yourself with some asshole bitch, and then you're expecting the bitch to be like what? That's why you got to know yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so you could get to know other people. So that would be what I call a spiritual law. It's a code because in this illusion here, you can't, if this microphone is in front of me, if I need to get it, I can't just grab it. That's what the illusion is. Meaning, this microphone here is not what it appears to be, or maybe it's not where it's supposed to be. So for me to grab it, I got to go this way. For me to grab it, in our instance on Earth, no matter what you need, you got to go inward. Self-love, self-confidence, and all that shit. That's why you'll see, here's something else again. When we devalue ourselves. Meanwhile, anybody and everybody who ever became successful, they tell you, yo, I had to love myself, man. They also humble as fuck too, because you gotta understand, loving yourself, all that cocky shit, bullshit, I don't know what the fuck they talking about. Because loving yourself does not make you any of that. And this is facts. Anybody who love themselves, they should know that. If anything, that shit grounds you even more. So much so, like I know myself and so have so much confidence in myself, I don't even argue with motherfuckers. What do I gotta prove you? What do I gotta prove to you? To whom? Can you imagine if I were to argue with dumb motherfuckers? Like, why would I even put myself in that situation? Why? Why sweat? Huh, sweat? Why sweat? Nah, sweat. It's crazy. We are living in our mind. Now we understand, do you notice the motherfucker will always tell you by the grace of God? And then you see, as they're saying that to you, look at the amount of work that they did. Like when you look at a guy like Tyler Perry, the man has his own belief. I'm not saying it's not by the grace of God. But I can also say, nigga, you work hard like a motherfucker. From even the beginning doing what the fuck you were doing that nobody else was doing. You said, even though you may not use the words I'm about to use, you told everybody to suck your own dick. You making your own shit. And so much so, this nigga got, even when he got bigger, because I remember he was trying to sign some deal. This nigga said, I'm going to have Medea 1, I'm going to have Medea 2. Yeah, motherfucker, that way. You may call it the grace of God. Listen, man, I'm not against that at all. But all I'm trying to point out to other people who's watching, This is what the niggas that are saying by the grace of God are telling you. And just so you know too, I don't disagree with them neither. Because when you fully come within yourself, you're not attached to your results. So to begin with, for me, everything is by the grace of God. If you want to be on some real shit. But again, that's why I always tell people, man, like, no matter how much you talk about God, it's hard for you to dissociate yourself from Him. Because God means nothing without you. Now, this is the Holy Communion that you need to be in tune with. When we talk about the Father and Son, the Holy Ghost, this is your combination. This is talking about you. Now, again, for me, it's God. Like, hell yeah, I believe in God. And that's because I believe in myself. They do not contradict each other contrary to what you think, or at least not to me. Because the deeper I get into God, the deeper I get into myself. Nigga, I'm fucking cosmic. That connection, it's fucking eternal. It goes beyond what I see, what I even know. So that's why I tell niggas, even when I know paradise better than you. Because I really get to taste it, get to live it. You're just talking about it. And that's why you have no transformation in your life. And the word, it has not been made, flesh to you. You're just talking out of your mouth. And of course, I have compassion for you because I know it's fucking ignorance too. How can I be mad at you? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to have a beer with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have it by myself. Me and Jesus right here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But I have compassion for you. I'm not even trying to put you down neither. It's putting everything in order. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, baby. That's all it is. What you eat don't make me shit. What I eat definitely do not make you shit. So it's all of this. You know what I'm saying? That's how, for me, I stay grounded, baby. It's a level field over here, man. We fly with our feet on the ground here. That's how I'm flying. If you know, you know. Who said you had to fly? Shit. I'm flying on Earth, baby. If you're gonna judge me, make sure you do it right, baby. You know what I'm saying? If I'm being condemned, nigga, make sure you give me the worst sentence ever. But if you're gonna love me, well, make sure, nigga, you make sure you love me. That's all I'm asking. Give it to me right, nigga. But anyway, get out of your mind. And all of that pretty stems from the fact that you already living in your mind. The minute you have not decided, the minute you separated from you, because you're living your life on whom you should be. So at these propaganda, or let's just say political bullshit that you living your life by, it's not even in tune with the reality that you're living in. And I talked about the marriage shit. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. And then we determine marriage. Your parents. I even forgot talking about your parents. Here's another big one. In the occult, we teach you have to kill your parents. Think about it. Especially in the black culture, right? So we're talking about slavery being, handed down and shit. How is it being done? Isn't it your parents? And please don't tell me just become one. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand all of that shit. Even, well, we're not even talking about the single parenthood. Like the mom and dad ones. How they working out. How they working out. Again, this is a reality that we're living in. A lot of us, although you could be living with your mom and dad, but if you're living with two dumb motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Can you imagine? And I always use this fucking example because Wycliffe was talking about it. How his dad kicked him out. Now, can you imagine this talent? The talent that this nigga, who that nigga is, in terms of music and everything he's doing. Can you imagine that? So those are the same people who are killing you, man. I mean, lucky for this motherfucker, his uncle end up, you know what I'm saying, because he know the motherfucker was just, hey man, the nigga trying to survive. The nigga's doing what he likes, nigga. What the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? Nigga ain't robbing nobody. He just doing what he likes, nigga. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I can imagine myself having that conversation with the dad. You're like, nigga. You know what I'm saying? And now again, but think about it too. Now he's dealing what he this nigga was really dealing with, his dad's shadow. And this is why your parents are even worse for you. And I'll let you know why. This is the bad news I got for you. And this is the reality that you're living in that you don't even understand. I hear comedian talkers about it all the time. Their mom would have their company over, and then the mom would just look at him a certain way. And then they know exactly. They're like, you think my mom is that way? But yeah, they put on the mask for somebody else, but they have power over you. So meaning, and that's how I was abused as a kid too, because now I'm dealing with this motherfucker's stupidity. Like the motherfucker already know how stupid she is. And of course, she's gonna hide that in front of people. He wouldn't act a certain way because she's looking to be validated. But now, when nobody's looking, this is home. Yeah, nigga. You truly get to deal with these niggas' shadow self. You truly know how abusive, how unhuman they are, and on top of it, you don't get to do shit. And they get to be so comfortable too. Why? Because they have power over you. They looking at you as a kid. I feed you, I do all that shit, nigga. You see, I'm not even talking about the bad parent here. I'm talking about mom and dad, but the dumb motherfuckers. Or the motherfuckers that you think that are socially accepted, like I use, like a pastor or something like that. Like I have a good friend of mine that I also know too. I don't want to, call out no names or anything, because I know about the family. You know what I'm saying? Good family, mother and dad been married together for a very long time. Yo, can you imagine your parents married for 50 years, you never see your dad kiss your mom? Can you imagine that? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I always tell people too, marriage got nothing to do with love. And on top of it, the consistency, the length of a marriage doesn't reveal shit about love. Because a lot of people stay married to one another to maintain their physical mask. There's so many different elements that plays into it. Motherfucker, like it could be financial reason too. Like I know motherfuckers, a couple of these motherfuckers, in fact. Nigga said, nigga, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not starting over. I already invested. Fuck it. Even if the bitch fucked on me, fuck that. She could do her. I'ma do me. But going back, selling the house, the pool, and that, go back in the fucking apartment, paying child support. Talk to me, Ray Ray. But yet, no motherfuckers talking about that, and this is the reality that most of us are living, experiencing, and then you talking about all the bullshit, man, because you're living in your mind. You know what I'm saying? All that marriage shit, all that this and that, and all this like, and meanwhile, like some real shit are really taking place, and that's the reality that you are living in. Just like with the Cat Williams shit, and this is the last shit I'm gonna talk about, right? So you know what I'm saying, and then at first I'm like, no, this is a collective. Like, no one, that shit had millions and millions of views in just a couple days, and the whole fucking internet is talking about that shit. Yeah, this nigga's telling the truth, and then they have jokes comparing other jokes, like motherfuckers really care. They worry about what's taking place. Do you know why? The truth really is that's because that's what they're living. But they don't even know it. Do you see what I'm saying? Like what you see Steve Harvey doing, you don't know a nigga who's doing that actual job right now? I know a nigga, I was working with him like back in my days, way back when I was in college. This nigga was a Steve Harvey nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like he's good buddies with management. You know what I'm saying? Political niggas. Making this move, kissing all the white people ass, and then with you, yo, yeah, my brother, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Come on, man. Like, how is that any different from anything that you fucking know? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit, man, they happening in your life right now. People talk about Monique and all that shit telling the truth. Go ahead and tell some truth at Walmart. I'm not even talking about like even some professional career or even a corporate ladder for that matter. Because all of these motherfuckers, they understand the game. I mean, shit, nigga, like I said, you can't tell me nothing. You know, because I've done the corporate thing. I know exactly what that shit is, nigga. You know what I'm saying? When you got to maintain your position, your luxury, what you got to do. I mean, who's going to tell the truth, man? What truth are you talking about? I just bought a new car, nigga. What are we talking about? See, that's why when people are saying the lies, I'm like, you guys are looking at the wrong shit. You should be looking at the infrastructure, everything, and the experience that you're going through. This is the matrix. I mean, what the fuck? And here's something else too. Like, we always expect people to do shit for you, man. You expect the government to handle your retirement, nigga? I mean, if anything, you should be open. Whatever they want to do, fine. But you best believe, I hope you are your responsibility. Just saying. Just saying. Again, isn't that the reality? Again, there's a big I mean, but yet again, because we're living in our mind, you are in your own way. You don't even see the your immediate vicinity. You don't even see what's taking place. You don't even understand it. Do you see what I'm saying? But for you to understand that, that's when you got to adopt that Godhead mentality. When you go beyond it, meaning you go through it, you understand it, and then that's how, by being in alignment with the person that you are too. That's your, I mean, that's your foundation. That's what you need. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's your pivot point. Through that, you're going to have your transformation. You have your gifts. Well, guess what? Explore the shit out of it. Share it with the whole fucking world. Isn't it? I mean, it's your gift. Do your best, baby. Be your best. Do it for you. I mean, how can I be against you when I'm saying this for you? And I can only say that for you because I love me and I've done it for me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know I love you because I love me. Don't worry about it. But anyway, the bottom line of everything we just talked about here, what I wanted you guys to understand is to get out of your own mind, but most importantly, to detach from that image of who you should be, but instead go directly into you. And some of the things that you will need to start embracing about you is just yourself, just to begin with. Talk to yourself if you need to. Don't. None of the people that say the minute you talk to yourself, crazy. Talk to it, answer it, like whatever the fuck, like kick it with yourself. Listen, because all of that, what you're doing is you are awakening that inner self. Because ultimately, too, I mean, as you go along the journey, you guys gonna have that conversation. I know for me, the minute I got to be in alignment with them, which is also me. It's like, oh, the love, the connection. Listen, you can't tell me nothing. I got my beauty right, nigga. You can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Why, Sway? You ain't got no answer for me, Sway. Sway, you can't tell me nothing, baby. You know what I'm saying? I found my beauty, nigga. Fuck are you talking about? But anyway, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. Just know it's nothing but love every time we get together. That's what we do here, and that's what I love about being here too, man. It's we get to explore many different shit. We talk shit, but ultimately this is all and I like it's truly educational purposes. It's to expand your extension. I mean your mind. To get to see the ordinary shit a little bit deeper because as for this to be a fucking illusion, meaning it's not what it appears to be, then you gotta, you just gotta make sure you enhance your vision. And the best way to do that is for you to go inwardly. Your inner vision. That's what we're looking to develop here by you going inside of you, using your gift, not necessarily living in your mind. You're getting in your own way because of some bullshit attachment of who you should be. Meanwhile, you're wasting what you got here. I mean, this is going to be useless if it's not being used. And again, why would you even want to go against you? Stop playing, all right? And that's blasphemy too, by the way. Stop blaspheming. I mean, don't do it. Just don't do it. I mean, come on, man. Like, you really gonna do that? You really gonna do that? Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. It's not cute at all. And, that's really what it comes down to, man. But anyway, always remember the pain of oh man, the remedy of the pain is in the pain. Like we talked about, remember why we fall, man. In this life, all we do is falling. And the reason why we do that is to get up. And that what that means is the number of challenges that you go through, everything, that you go through, you got to go through it because that's how you grow here. So that's why even when it comes to difficulties, you're going to have to start looking at it differently. You know what I'm saying? It's not how it's you got to look at it like this is your stripes. You got to earn that stripes. You know what I'm saying? You look at it, when the minute you start looking at it that way, you already, it's already shattered. And the truth is, too, listen, it's not even something you just saying to yourself again. This is not the motivational bullshit. It's the fucking truth, man. You know what I'm saying? You are you. Yeah. Hey, life is what you make it. And the only difference in this is the, those who get to make the best out of it, they understand it's their choice. So that's why they agree with you when you say you can't do something. You're right. But those who can, they understand that they can. And it's not because, again, there's no failure. You fail when you stop, meaning you stop trying. And even if you're not even trying, for you to get better, you got to be repetitive. And to master anything, that's what it is. You made it part of your ordinary life. So meaning if at one point you used to dribble and looking at the ball, then when you start to master it, you're not even looking anymore. Like now you're on point. But so all you do, another way of saying this, all you do in this life is mastering yourself. And for you to master yourself, the challenge got to come through. You got to keep falling. It's like if a baby had stopped getting up or stopped falling or stopped getting up, you wouldn't be walking today. So again, this is your reality. How are you living differently from this reality? And then you're gonna call me supernatural? Like if I'm supernatural, nigga, you're not even you're not even in life. If everything I just told you that in here, including what I talked about when it comes to spirituality, if this is outside of you, and if you don't understand, like, this is how much of, like, that's why I know, like, nigga, like, you lost. The minute you don't even see spirituality as part of you, like, I mean, that, it wonders. Like, it makes other people, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you even understand your own reality? Do you see what's in front of you? For the most part, you do not. And that's why you go chasing fucking happiness when that shit is inside of you. You keep looking for it and you keep failing. And you have accomplished so much, but yet you still got to accomplish more. And guess what? You are as good as your last fucking accomplishment, and then everybody forgets about it. So you worry, here you are try to validate, get yourself validated in front of people who don't give a fuck about you any fucking way. And how can they? Because they look at you through the image. So even if you're talking about your effort means nothing. Did you get it done? You got another degree? Who are you, nigga? And that's what you're gonna get. I mean, is that unrealistic? Is that not what you're going through as well? In fact, that's exactly what you're going through. But you don't get it because, like, listen, man, come back home, nigga. And that's why I'm here, man. And that's the job I came here to do. That's what makes it a privilege for me to do what I do. But anyway, we're going to leave it here. I see. Love yourself, man.